And we can just dance the night away until we get no more. I'll shake all the hurt away so you can feel and forget who you used to be. For just tonight, could you just dance the night away?
Alright. Alright, so we've got our back over here. And we're gonna go and work more on the story. It is busy today. Look at all that. People are chit-chatting and stuff and over here. We're gonna continue with the story because I have two missions that are like hard missions, which to me makes me think that they are going to be missions that require me to have level 20 on all of my heroes and stuff. Probably better gear too. His staff's pretty cool looking. I like the dragon on it. Anywho, let's go talk to these people. I am stationed here to keep keep the peace. I shall miss the battle isles, but but it was prepared us to face the evil ahead. Okay. With the darkness upon us, and some spears must ally. This is the followers of Balthazar. Is it Tirish? I can't remember how they're actually say them. Must ally to each other. We cannot sacrifice our numbers and still hold Nightfall at bay. In Cantha and Interia. As a sign of our solidarity in this war and our trust in you, I offer you the opportunity to train one of my most powerful and promising electoral. I can't remember how to say it. These are just the servants, workers. You successfully showed me you are a natural leader. Okay. Consider this a great honor. I don't know. The way of the is forged in combat. Yeah, they mentioned the forge. Or the wording. By blood and steel. We will rest with, we will test you their way. Okay. Are you ready? Meet us at the plane. Are you serious? You want to test me your way? Doesn't that seem a little, I don't know, counterintuitive? I mean, I guess, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little hesitant because in Guild Wars 2, Balthazar and his servants become an issue later, like in the expansions and stuff. They are not portrayed in a very good light. Because Balthazar decides to be an ass. So, well, we were talking about this morning about Balthazar and everything, and all the stuff that he did and consequences he caused. Good to know that I am the one. Okay, whatever you say, game. But yeah, it did not go well. Let's put it that way. It did not go well. It was not a great thing. Oh, you guys keep healing him through the pain? That seems so morbid. I say that because imagine that you're getting your butt handed to you. You know what I mean? I don't know what he said. I didn't get you to see it. Okay. He said something about his kids.
Jin! Acolyte Jin!
What is it?
Acolyte, okay.
What do you think?
Of what?
That Sunspear leader, of course.
Nice moves. Has potential.
That's it?
That's enough.
Something is going on here in Alone. I can feel it in my bones. This Sunspear is going to be a big part of it.
If you say so. I am just looking for someone to learn from. It is the Zaishen way.
There's
Ah,
nothing about the
Zaishen.
Zaishen way that says we can't be enthusiastic about what we do.
Okay.
Field General Hayao will allow the Sunspear to train one of us. I hope I am chosen.
I hope so too.
Thank you.
Then I won't have to listen to you jabbering on.
What did you just say?
I don't know if I respect her or if I'm concerned for her well-being. Well done. Now you have both certain in battle. You may choose to pupil and train your image and speak with them again. Okay. So, okay. I must be stationed here to keep the peace. I shall miss the battle isles, but as it prepares us to face the evils on, Musaisha are here to help. Can I just pick one of them or both of them? So, no. If I have to pick one of them, I'm gonna go with the student first, because I kind of think he's a little bit more peppy. And we'll see. I'd hope we can do both. That'd be kind of fun. But definitely the peppy student, because I can only handle unnecessary backhand conversations with somebody for a little bit. Because I feel like her opinion of me is fine. Like, oh, she's okay. You know, that she's an okay leader, whatever. But it's the fact that he's trying to be like, well, we can still be happy about it, and she just doesn't understand the importance of him being happy about it. Or being excited. And I'm like, okay. People who don't understand not to shit on the parade of somebody else it's not necessary. Okay. In most cases, it normally means they do not socially care about your opinion, which means it's a disrespect. Now, that being said, there are some neurological issues that can make that harder. I've had some autistic friends and stuff who have a harder time catching the drift. But in that situation, they make it very obvious that that's what's going on. I've had so many autistic friends who be like, just remind you, I have these quirks, you know, because they've had enough people or their family have come up to them, mentioned it, and have noticed it. I had one autistic friend who he didn't catch at the moment why people were reacting to him the way he did. So he started asking people he trusted, like his mom and friends and cousins and stuff. He's like, what am I doing wrong? And they're like, oh, well, you're responding it this way, and socially that's not an acceptable way to manage it. And he goes, ah. And at one point he said he was sitting at, like, the lunch table with his friends, and he was talking to them, and he made a social soap or whatever, and they looked at him, and he goes, remember, I'm autistic. And they go, yeah. You know what I mean? But, like, most places, most situations is pretty obvious. I feel like she's just very reserved in her situation, and her reservedness is coming off as cold instead of it being that. So, like I said, I feel like she doesn't really care about him personally as much, but maybe she just feels intimidating because we're standing there too. If we're standing there listening to this, I could see her being a little bit not wanting to be so kosher with her friend. And maybe he's pushy too, because he could be that friend that's very pushy and makes anyone around him, like, overly uncomfortable. I'm, like, don't get me wrong, I like friendly people and stuff, but I've had friends like that too who were just too friendly, and I'm like, you're grinding my gears with your friendliness. Can we not? Can we sit here quietly and be happy? We don't take everything, you know, something. So it could be that too. So to play devil's advocate, it could be that these two are just an awkward batch in general. The Zaishan are sworn blades of Balthazar, yeah. Loyal to the end. You have selected as a student. It is time to show you people the meaning of strength. Together, you must defeat one of Balthazar's enemies in combat. Only through victory in the face of adversary will you forever bond with your beings in your arms. Okay, yeah. And I think if I ever do this expansion again, I'll pick the girl just so I know, like, the situation. Because, like I said, I don't know if it's only a specific one, or if it's just you can do both of them. It'd be kind of cool if you unlock both of them, but I get the feeling this is a choice you get to pick. But he seems more light and fun and goofy, and she seems more serious. That's what I was trying to get at earlier. When I said she was kind of stiff, I think she's just more serious, and I can only tolerate seriousness for so much. I'm more of a goofy person myself, so sometimes when people, and this is coming off from me being not neurotypical in this regard. Hold on, I'm trying to remember if this. I think this area is a 4-person area. This is coming from somebody who also isn't always catching the hints in social situations. I find sometimes when people are serious with me, sometimes I think they're mad at me. This is another reason why I have a hard time enjoying some serious characters, because unless I can tell you're making a joke or that you don't think badly of me, I will oftentimes take their seriousness as a jab. I have had people in my life and family and stuff and friends who are like that, and they're not being mean. They genuinely are not trying to be mean. They're just flat. And I'm not very flat of a person, and I tend to use a little bit more colorful, like, language and jokiness, but that causes a problem, you know? Because then my personality conflicts with somebody else, and I think I take it as a personal attack when I shouldn't. It's a character flaw of my own. Hey man, what's up? Let's see. These are okay. Yeah. So he has summoned. Or these things have been. Yeah, these are Balthazar's minions. You know what? I'm wondering, because you know the thing about it that's kind of interesting is that Balthazar probably in this game isn't as awful as he is in the first game or the second game, because in the second game he tries to wage war on the dragons, even though his power is risking destroying the world at large because of his divinity and stuff. So I'm like, he must have been really cool in Guild Wars 1 versus Guild Wars 2. Alright. Barely broke a sweat. Yes, maybe. What kind of class are you? That's what I want to know. I'm kind of more curious than anything. We'll find out in a second. Oh, wait, can I actually, like, find out? I don't know if I can actually find out. I don't know. We could check real quick. I don't remember if I can actually, like... I don't know if I could check and find out. Not that it matters either way. But yeah, serious people who are just flat and serious, I have a hard time reading them half the time because I can't tell if they're being, especially if their tone's flat. If they smile at me, or they grin at me, or they nod their head, you know, they kind of like do other physical gestures, I get it. But it's when they like look me flat in the face and they make no attempt to you know, I was checking to be sure. Make no attempt at like trying to like soften the blow, then I don't know. Then it throws me off quite a bit. My dad's a very serious dude, so it was hard to get a read on him sometimes. But he would smile when he was gonna make a joke. He'd look me dead in the eye and smile, and I would know that he was joking. But when you hear him say things from a room without looking at him half the time, it was hard for me to read him because I wasn't looking at him and stuff. It's not his fault. He didn't do anything wrong to communicate. I just couldn't register what he I couldn't register what he was implying. As his trainer, I think it's best you knew something about your pupil. Why didn't you guys tell me this before I picked? It's driven by a relentless curiosity and always offering advice, commentary, and wisecracks. I like that. Okay, I picked wisely. But do not let that deceive you. His unique attitude and boundless curiosities are rare in a but he backs it with a flamboyant, explosive fighting style. Good luck, hero. Go with the blessing. Oh yeah, so I like him. I like the guys. I like them when they make crack jokes because to me it's funnier. It's more enjoyable. Now I want to know what kind of like thing he is. Fire damage. Let me see. I want to see if I can move this, but I guess I can't. Sorry, I need to see. I was trying to check and see if any of them needed more points. Some of them do. I need to upgrade my skills. There we go. I might have to... No, that's fine. It'd be fine. Let's see what he has to say. I'm not I'm not here to be stationed here to help the peace. I am stationed here to help keep the peace. I shall miss the battle isles, but it has prepared. Yeah, okay. So you're just telling me things. We deployed a Zaishan around the area you have requested. I must say you are quite a tactical mind and would do well as a Zaishan. I was impressed by your fighting abilities against the darkness. You shouldn't be. I wasn't very impressive. Some of our Zaishan trainees can learn thing from your example. Talk to me again if you're interested. Okay. So that's. So we're just gonna deliver. Okay. I know that this name is not this, but I looked up here and I said jerky in my brain. About the jerky. I'm like, why are we talking about snacks? But yeah, my dad, if he wasn't looking at you, it was hard for me to read his mannerisms. He'd sometimes have to turn around and look at me when I wouldn't respond to some of his jokes because then he realized I wasn't paying attention or I didn't get what he was doing. And he'd giggle at me and then I'd be like, oh, you meanie, you know? He'd make a sassy remark about something. I mean, I had coworkers who were really bad about it. I think that's where it really stems from, is my coworkers. I had some older men that I used to work with that I love to death. They're great people. But, he was very hard to read because he never giggled. He was a veteran. I remember that, and he used to talk about his stuff. It took him a long time to warm up to me because he thought I wouldn't be there for very long. So he wasn't trying to be mean, but he was very reserved because when he finally did, like, start to get attached, he was second, second father, you know? Like, he was fatherly to all of the people that were younger than him. Even some that were a little bit older than him. There was one lady who was older than him by like a few years, and he's like, I am your grandfather too. She's like, you are younger than me. And he was like, that does not matter. But like, he would get attached, and so he was like very much guarded for like a year or two into knowing him when I worked at like Walmart and stuff, because he was the type to be very passionate about people he cared about. Because anytime I had another coworker he got close to, and he got close to her because she reminded him of his like middle or youngest child or something, and he kind of bonded with her faster, and they were working together a lot more because he was training her. And she would come in and tell him about how her new boyfriend that she's dating, or her new person she was courting, because she date somebody for so long before she considered it dating. Like, she'd give him like a month like thing before that, you know what I mean? Because you can't just really, she couldn't just date anyone, so she wouldn't tell anyone she was dating any guy really, or call him a boyfriend until a month in, because she had a kid. So she couldn't take, she would date seriously, but they would not be a serious couple until a month in. That's what I'm trying to get at. So anytime she had a bad boyfriend, he'd be like, do you want me to beat him up? And she's like, no, you're like 70, man. You can't be doing that. He's like, I still know how to do it. He's like, I did it back in the war. I can do it again. Like, messing with her. But like, if you didn't know him, the look in his eyes seemed like he was being serious. But only after she said no, like 2 or 3 times was a joke, giggling at him, did he smile and go, okay, whatever you say. Like, he'd let down the joke go. Like I said, that man was a peach. But when you didn't know that, he used to scare me quite a bit because I thought he hated me. I thought he despised working with me. And the reality is that he later told me, he goes, you talk so much, I don't know how to respond to you. He was blown with me about it one time. He's like, you seem like a nice kid, but you just go. And he's like, I don't know how to handle it. He's like, my kids are Gabby, yes, but not. He's like, you're on a different level. I was like, because I asked him one time, I was like, did I ever do anything to make you hate me or dislike me? Because you're so quiet around me. He's like, I just don't know what to say. And I looked at him and I said, you can say whatever off-color thing you want to say. Just don't tell me you hate me. And he goes, I can do that. I had some of the best conversations with that man. He would just he started realizing I wasn't messing around with it, so he could pop off any colorful conversation, and I'll just be like, yep. All that kind of stuff. I may not leave the Sunspear Hall on missions much anymore, but those who do carry the mark of my training and my satchel on their back. If you don't, sandal on their back if they don't work hard. If you don't work hard, I don't know if he means like. I'm assuming it's like, I guess it's the word sandal. I don't know, but you know. An interesting choice. Let me tell you about him. He gets very along with the consort and is responsible in part for your good relationship with the Eastons, but he was passed over as Sunspirit when Cormyr was chosen, and takes out his resentment on everyone she favors. It was a long time ago, but he never forgiven her. I tell you this because he may not take well to seeing Cormyr's best and brightest coming charging into his homestead. He has a place in the is not far from. Okay, so yeah, he wants me to go grab him. I don't think I would. See, that's another thing too. That does seem like an insult. That we are going to go and fetch him. You know what I mean? Okay, so we do have Mox now. I don't know why Mox is part of it now, but I'm not going to complain. Okay, can I see what your skills are? He's spellcaster, clearly. Okay, the other one was definitely an archer because she had a bow. Sorry, I misread. So we have an element. Okay, so since he's an elementalist, this is better, I think. Because, it goes better with a lot more things. An archer probably would have gone better because we're gonna get another elementalist soon with the other expansion stuff, but it does mean that it'd be fine. It'll be fine for now. He doesn't have any more points. He uses fire, earth, and water. Mox is specialized in 2 different things. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at it. Do I have any more missions other than his? No. Okay. We're gonna see. Let me add another healer. We'll add the bronze individual. Actually, no. Let's not do the bronze. Let's do the bowman, huntsman. And another healer. Sorry, I was trying to find which one's the monk. There's the monk. So, because that way we have 2 in case. I don't know which side of this is better, so we'll see. Because we don't know which one's closer on either side. But, yeah. There we go. Oh, that was a very harsh cough. Yeah, so we need to go over here. Poor baby. Okay. I don't think there's anything here. I think we've already checked here too. Yeah. I think it's all good. It's all good. I might do that too. I had a thought. I currently have videos ready for Guild Wars 1 already. In the lineup. What the fuck was that noise? Is someone got a bazooka out here in the woods? What's going on? Got a machine gun? That's what it sounded like. It's probably just wood shifting, but still. As I was deciding on whether I wanted to do an hour of Guild Wars 1 or if I wanted to do just 30 minutes. An hour would probably be better. Yeah. Could do like an hour of... Sorry, I was looking at the schedule thinking. I want to get out of the village and away from everything. You know the funny thing is, in Guild Wars 2, they don't have a flamingo as a pet, but they have a pink moa, which is the closest thing we get to a flamingo, which I personally like a little bit more. I don't know, because it looks like a very big moa, like a very big. It looks like an ostrich and a flamingo kind of thing. This is more to protecting and stealing spells. You've heard me saying, okay. Okay, there we go. I didn't like that. So, Kamor has ordered me out of my retirement to become a Sun's Marshal. Spear Marshal. I'm surprised, given our past, but it's about time. See, that's even worse in my opinion. Because he was turned down to be a Sun Spear, but now he's being made a Spear Marshal, because Spear Marshal is like a peg above them. It's like a general or a commander. You know what I mean? So it does, honestly, she shot in a lot of people's dreams, didn't she? She really did just be, like, picking favorites. Like, also, like, even if, okay, she wants to make them a Sun Spear Marshal now, alright? But, like, she wouldn't let them become Sun Spears before. Like, to me, that feels weird. That's like telling someone, oh, you're not good enough to stock shelves, but now I want you for a manager position. Doesn't make much sense. Maybe she's been watching them and they've become better. Maybe they weren't very humble beforehand. But it really, to me, screams more about desperation and less about quality. And to me, it feels like, from kind of side half reading this, that Cormier is only filling the ranks in because they are not as many Sun Spears, instead of it being a matter of, oh, we really need you just in general. I kind of think that if you did, that they shouldn't have done that, because if these guys are good enough to be Sun Spear Marshals, or to be good people, to be individuals who can work as Sun Spears, they should have been brought into the Sun Spear organization before this, because there's never a negative correlation ever to have extra, to have backups, even if all they do is sit in the villages and wait. You know what I mean? Like, the only way I could see it being an issue is if she lacked funding, which I don't think they are, because Sun Spears are extremely important in this time frame. I mean, they kind of are important all time frames, but my point is the same. While she's been dabbling about in the ruins of the old city, the corresponders have gained unprecedented strength. While we shall set the Sun Spears back on the right path. But by the time she gets back, Elderford will approach me, Sunpear, permanently. Yeah, so, and also that's the other thing too, I hate to think that they're just doing this temporarily, because that seems like disrespectful. I think it's obviously because they've had either no need for Spear Marshals, or they've lost people. But still, like, you think you would still have all the Sun Spears as backup, like, have them camped out in villages. You have them camped out at waypoints, doing nothing. They don't even sit there and fight things half the time. Well, they do, but they have to be, like, been pestered first. I can't say everyone's will be glad to have Jurek back. Okay, so he was technically one of them. We were friends before that mess when Cormier became Sun Marshal, or Spear Marshal. You should be especially careful. He likes to pull rank and tends to lead through intimidation, petty rules rather than action. Well, then why put him in power if he's not, like, a good leader like that? Talk to me again before you report back to him. I can give you some help dealing with it. Okay, look. Here's the thing. I know we're recruiting people, we're pulling numbers, we're trying to get the numbers beefed up, but you can't tell me that there isn't another person to be Spear Marshal that isn't egotistical and isn't going to pull rank just to flash his power. Alright? If that is the reason you guys didn't want to give him power before, I get that. But that I wish that had been mentioned before we had that conversation with him, because that does change things. But he still could have been a Sun Spirit despite his arrogance, because he could have still just been a good foot soldier, assuming he could fight and that he's like really liked and everything, or he's like really good at what he does outside of that. But also, you could have upgraded anyone else to his position. You know what I mean? Almost anything else would have been better. Greenhorn even. Only because at least they'd be able to follow orders, give or take, depending on the greenhorn. But yeah. You will most likely likely assist you in some needle tasks until Cormier returns. Be careful though, he may look for opportunities through your actions to discredit Cormier in front of the council. See, that's another thing too. Don't ever put somebody that's going to discredit their coworkers in the front line. They're not good managers. They're not good bosses, because that screams about them having an underlying characteristic that is malicious in its nature, right? As someone who's worked with enough toxic managers, do not put somebody in position who is going to be that way. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you don't know. Sometimes they seem like the coolest worker ever. Put them on that platform, and then they become toxic. But seeing as how he's not even been in that position before, and they can already see those traits, that they shouldn't have put him in a place of power at all. And if they did want to put him in a position like that, put him in the paperwork room. Make him do paperwork. You know, go push medial tasks, because paperwork's important. But like, say they have like, you know, people needing approvals for certain things, like, you know, that kind of thing. That he could be firm with some of that stuff within reason. Don't let him do supplies, because he'll be stingy about the supplies, and then someone's gonna die. But maybe like in the law department of your organization, or like the diplomat part of the thing. Because why it sucks that some diplomats can be a little bit harder, it does make more sense that they work better for the people, because they hold harder on their presses of like, no, we're not going to trade this, we're not going to do this, we are offering this, blah, blah, blah. You know, they hold to their guns a little bit more for that. So kind of having someone with spine, maybe even a tiny bit lippy, is kind of good when you're trying to negotiate for... There you go. So the word when you're trying to negotiate for better stuff. Or trade. You know. But put him there. Don't let him get the ears of young ears, because that causes a revolt to occur. Honestly, I wonder if he's one of the people that joined Joko. Be careful, though. He may, in front of the others. Don't do anything that would start any trouble. Just keep your head down and your nose clean until Cormac gets back. With that, mine, go ahead and report to your duties. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna switch videos real quick.
And we can just dance the night away until we get no more. I'll shake all the hurt away so you can feel and forget.